Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Double the Dice. I am your host and your dungeon master, riding shotgun. I'm just along for the ride, and with me today are an assorted band of adventurers. Say hi, assorted band of adventurers.
Hi, assorted band of adventurers.
Yeah,
Howdy.
no one was ready. Great, I love it.
I was.
So, last session, we had a bit of a shopping episode. We cemented the theft of banana candy, the Hadrosaurus, bought a saddle for them and a whole bunch of water, and met Sven Frostfort, the Cooper. Bought a bunch of rain catchers and 50-gallon barrels of water. After a little bit of math, I realized that works out to more weight than the Hadrosaurus could carry, so we decided that with the utility saddle and the 2 saddlebags, now the Hadrosaurus is topped out. It's maxed out with that water. And they also bought insect repellent, and end of last session, we kind of thought we would go forward and meet all of the guides. Since then, we have decided that through individual conversation or through offline discussion that we will be going with Farul and Gondolo, so the party will have to go and talk with them at that point. But without any further ado, let's talk to our adventurers. With me today, I have, from top to bottom, Galadremen.
Hi.
Bob the Krill.
Hello.
Treviathan and JJ.
Hi.
Howdy.
Well, I said from top to bottom, and then I realized that you two were right next to each other, so I had to I had to figure something out.
Yeah, do that math. Split us evenly.
Yeah, right.
Jay is taller on screen, therefore he.
Yeah, right. It's Trev JJ the Thin. Anyway. So, but for the beginning of today's episode, we will be starting off. We will not be starting in the land of Chult. We will be returning the day, not even the day previous, but the earlier today in Baldur's Gate. JJ, the previous night, you had a great chat with Barbara the Barbarian and a number of other individuals, and
Yes, I had my
agreed
first
to
drinks.
join them.
Yes.
And you got drunk for the first time.
Did.
And where did you stay the night?
The alley across the street from the tavern.
Right.
Yes, in my little burrito. Our burrito.
So, you wake up in your little burrito. The sun is shining. The alleyway that you're in provides enough shade that you actually manage to sleep in a fair amount. It's probably 9-10 o'clock on a summer's day before you fully rouse. What do you do
Fantastic.
first?
Well, I think I'm gonna get up and pack my stuff. Count things that I have. Brush off any rats that might have poked around.
Fair enough. As you finish gathering yourself and getting ready, you look to where you last saw Barbara, laid out on the cobblestones in front of the tavern, and notice that they are not there.
Ooh. Then I'm gonna have to, if the tavern, to the people in the tavern, gotta find whoever was working there and, hey, I'm looking for, big buff guy, a lot of drinks. We were, had some fun. You know where he went?
Ah, yeah, I remember your friend. We We had to throw him out. He was out on the cobbles last I saw him.
Great. Thank you very much.
Do you know where you were? Didn't you say something about a Sylvanus person? I think I overheard your conversation. You were talking about some mission. That's all I got. Sorry.
Thank you very much. It's last night was still putting the pieces together. Thank you very much. Do you know? Have you where that person is? Does that name sound familiar to you?
Couldn't tell you.
Fantastic. Anyway, thanks for your help. I'm going to go outside the tavern and look around for anyone doing their, I guess it's not morning chores or routines, or anybody who looks like they were around for a while.
Somebody who looks. There would be other patrons in the bar who are probably having breakfast or getting ready for the day.
We're looking for somebody outside who would have seen Barbara get up and go somewhere than the people inside the tavern itself, because he was thrown out.
Okay. Make an investigation check. First roll of the night.
I got a 1 with a -1.
So you gain no new information with this roll. I've never seen a 0 on an investigation check.
Did I lose information?
Yeah, actually, you're very confident which way to go, and it's the wrong way.
Excellent. Well, intuition hasn't served me wrong yet, so I shall follow that trail.
All right. So you start heading down. You actually wander down the street a little ways, and then you turn down a dark alley.
All right. Well, my inquisitive investigation tells me that this is the way to go.
Yes. Make a perception check.
11.
All right. Just for fun, Bob the Krill,
Yeah.
I would like you to describe the thug that is standing in this alley.
I think this is a really, really small goblin thug with a dagger that's about the same size of its body.
Oh, amazing. For anybody else, this sword would be just a regular sword, but to him, he's like Cloud from Final Fantasy. Like
Absolutely buff as well, like just really short but super buff and ripped on the. So that's how he's like. He just wields the sword with ease and grace, even though it's about the same size of him.
Amazing. And this goblin takes one look at Mordai and decides that he is dressed too well. And so he cracks his neck, walks up and says, "Give me your wallet."
Did you lose yours? Mine is
No,
mine and yours is yours.
Well, now mine is mine and yours is mine.
Oh, mine is mine. You have to get your own.
I'm trying to get my own. I'm getting it from you.
Yeah, I only have one. I don't have any more.
Now you have one less.
If I have one less, then I have 0. How am I supposed to carry all my money?
Okay, we're gonna make a contested intelligence check on this to see if the goblin. Actually, it's gonna be against his intelligence, but you're gonna use either persuasion or deception, your choice.
Deception.
All right, go for it.
22.
Four.
So I think what I'm gonna like go down to a knee, put my hand on his shoulder, and be like, "Look, like you lose things, I get it, but it's kind of hard to see in like dark alley missing stuff. So how about this? I can spend about 2 or 3 minutes to help you look for it. But if I can't find it, I'm kind of in a rush. But if you go down, I'll put in a random direction. Go down there, take a left and then a right, and that house there. Knock on the door and ask them for spares."
Wow. You know what? You're okay. Thank you. Sure. And so you spend 5 minutes
Yeah, just
looking in this alley for a wallet that doesn't exist, and then he walks down and you coincidentally gave him directions to the Harper safe house that we established in episode 1, where Red Chahurt and Lenora met before heading over to Center Sylvain. And
Right.
that is how the Harpers find out that you are still in Baldur's Gate. What do you do next? You just continue down this dark alley out the other side, right?
Yep. I'm gonna follow my trail because I don't know that that's the warehouse yet. I just
Mhm.
have to gobble into the warehouse.
Yeah.
Safe house.
Mm-hmm. And we'll just skip ahead a little bit, and then
My random wandering.
with your random wandering, and eventually the Harpers manage to track you down and say, aren't you supposed to be at Cinder Sylvain's? Aren't you supposed to go to Chult?
Yes. That's it's a little embarrassing, but I'm kind of hard to find.
All right. It might not be too late. I'll take you there now, and you all go over to, the two of you go to Cinder Sylvain's, and realize that Sindra Sylvain has already teleported to Chult. She's gone. Look, kid, I don't really know how to tell you this, but you might need to find your own way to Chult. Can you do that? Can you teleport? Go by boat?
I cannot teleport, but I'm sure I can find my way. I have full confidence in my ability. I roll deception. I lie to myself.
Go ahead. Yeah, okay. I'll roll insight with this guy.
9.
17. Just flat out does not believe you for a second. And this Harper
I don't think I
goes,
believe that either.
you have no way to get there, do you? At all. Not even a little.
Oh, but look at harbor and action.
Would you even be able to afford a boat? It could take months to get there.
Well, at least I'm heading there.
All right, kid. What's your name?
Mordai Low. Stick my hand out to shake.
He shakes it generously and does not return his name and says, sometimes there's just signs that things aren't meant to happen. Sometimes it's easier and simpler if you just try to find something else to do, some other way to spend your time. I think this ship has sailed for you. We might be able to find you some other work in town if you want, but... Or maybe we'll get you in with another band if... another band of adventurers going down to the Chult if Sindra comes back saying that this group failed. It's not the first group of adventurers that got lost in Chult anyway.
Well, I'm not gonna give up quite yet, but how about I come by the time the sun sets, I'll be back, and if I'm out of luck, we'll go from there. How does that sound?
All right, suit yourself. And I suppose you walk off, right?
Yep. I'm gonna step outside the safe house, take a deep breath, and go. Okay. What do I need? I need to get to Chult. Where was Chult again? Please.
He's already gone.
Island? Yeah, I'm just mumbling to myself, like, hey, Chult. What was Chult? A country, a nation, an island? Going to. He's kind of mumbling.
Tickling at the back of your head. You don't. It's not quite a voice. You don't hear a voice. You almost get a feeling. It tells you to close your eyes and walk.
Hasn't steered me wrong yet. I shall close my eyes and just let my legs just go.
And as you do, before you close your eyes, you note that you are before a grand square, a town square with a fountain and everything. And you walk, there's probably 50, 100 feet ahead of you that's totally clear except for people walking by.
Okay.
And you close your eyes, you think of Chult, you take 2 steps forward, and you hit a brick wall.
And like put my hands on it, like knock, like okay, and then I'm gonna do like a little 180 jump spin to like look around what was behind me.
You are suddenly hot and sweating. And you look around and you see a dinosaur. You see carts pulled by triceratopses. And you see trade and people shouting and all kinds of commerce. You don't know where you are, but it's not where you were. And in the back of your mind, you hear, I will expect payment later. And you are left alone with your thoughts.
Yes, of course. Thank you. It's the back of my head where the voice was. I'm gonna adjust my clothing, and then just like try to like air to cool down slightly, but I assume it doesn't help at all.
Oh, not even a little bit. In fact, you're starting to feel like, even just 5 minutes here, oh man, I didn't drink enough water before for the climate I was in, and now it's worse, right? And that sensation of desiring water is very strong right now.
Hey, well, I'm gonna have this lukewarm water skin that I've been in the water skin for about days now.
Ugh.
Nice and
Tepid.
yeah. I'll like get like a mouthful, be like, yeah, spit on the ground. Like, all right, nope. Yes, first things first. I'm gonna need some water. So I'm going to look around, look for any place that looks like it would be older, drinks involved, water.
Well, taking a look around, you do see that there are actually, go ahead and roll perception. You definitely see that there are sources of water around and people carrying water and things. All right, with that, you see that there are multiple people grabbing water from cisterns and wells nearby. And but you also see that there is a tavern that you could stop by.
All right. I'm gonna go to the cistern, and kind of try to make small talk with some of the other people. Like, hey, in town. So I'm gonna try to not very early to be like, so what's the name of this town we're in? Where are we? As I'm kind of like very nonchalant, like, so really hot weather we're having here in.
All right. Uh, so Galadremen, I would like to ask you to describe the character that he has approached. What do you think this person would be like? Your mic is muted right now. There we go.
So he just walked up to.
Somebody in line for the cistern to get some water.
Okay, that's all we got here. All right, so, this person is dressed in like a linen shirt and pants that have been rolled up a whole bunch, and they're kind of wrinkly, and he's got like he's kind of dusty and dirty, and also has kind of a ridiculous straw hat that is curled up on one side, and is also barefoot.
Hey, I'm gonna go up to that person and be like, yeah, it's the weather always like that here in Lace?
Yeah. Usually. Almost always. We got two kinds of weather here in Chult. You got hot and wet. Unless you count the third kind, which is hot and wet.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. You're a wise individual.
I hear that a lot, thanks.
Give him a nod as I fill up, or first, empty the old water and get some new stuff. Wet my whistle, and then, let's see, I need to find the group of people. Where were they? I don't know. So
You
I will
don't
do
know.
So I shall do what I do best.
You don't know
Take
where
a
they
deep breath.
are, but you do know where they're going. Kind of. You don't know. You know what they're looking for, you don't know where it is. But you know it's not here.
Yes. Oh, so if they're okay, so I'm going to try to look for the way out of town and try to catch up to them on the road.
Excellent. So,
I look for, I assume, how the biggest or the first kind of gate or entryway to and from the town.
awesome. You see it in the distance before you get close to it. There is a large archway, and as you're leaving, it says it doesn't have a sign on the way out, but as you pass it, you see that there is a large sign that says Port 9 Zaru Merchant District, southwest. And
Fantastic.
you walk out. You have no supplies? Do you even have a backpack?
I have a backpack with my bedroll and some rations in it.
Okay, so not totally unprepared.
Not totally unprepared, but I'm going to see if there's the gate guards and ask them to see if they've seen a group of people leaving, kind of give a rough description of, at least I think just Barbara? Because I think he's the only one I've met
you would
so
have
far.
also met the Twilight Cleric, the Dark Elf, or the Shadow Elf.
Right, yes.
Lapis.
Lapis, yes, that is correct. So I'm going to go to one of the guards and ask them if they've seen people matching this description head out of town.
Nope. Sorry. Haven't seen anybody like that. Well, wasn't there that one big guy? Oh, yeah. You said you were looking for somebody big and pale, right? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Over there. Yuppie. What was... Well, I don't know your name. And they're trying to get your character's attention there, Treviathan. They bring you to a totally white bugbear who is tall and pale.
You just call me Yuppie.
Well, I didn't get your name. Here, this guy's looking for you. And they just kind of shove Mordai in your general direction and walk back to their post.
I'm going to look Genben up and down like, well, not exactly what I'm looking for,
Yeah.
but you are friend-shaped, so maybe you'll help.
You would be about the first person in a decade to say that.
That's... I would like to say hooray for me, but that doesn't sound...
In my head, Yenben is outwardly not friendly looking. So he's a bugbear, right? Like, he's got the pure white fur, he's got the tusk-like teeth, he's got those beady little goblinoid eyes that are constantly looking for danger, long limbs that stretch down to his knees, or past his knee, like, they have really long reach. I would assume those unkempt fingernails where they've like started to form plates and they're extra thick and it's hideous, and an assortment of scars and weatheredness to him from being out in the sun. He does not look friend shaped by most people's definition.
Well, friend shape is different than like friend color. You know, the outline's all friend shaped.
Or friend hygiene.
He's, in other words, he doesn't look like he's going to actively eat you. Okay.
Not right now.
I get a good feeling about this. Maybe. Anyway, so as I was telling these guards here, I'm look, I slept in and got separated from my group. I was wondering if you maybe seen them head out or in or anything like that.
Are you about trying to leave town just dressed like this with this whole situation here?
What's wrong with this?
Sorry, I had to.
All of this? Really?
With all that. Well, there's no bug spray. You don't have enough water, and let's face it, you'll die.
Sure, yeah, bug spray. That's a smart. And everybody knows what that is. It's a bug spray. It sprays bugs? Heck me. Yes.
It sprays bugs at people.
Finger guns?
I would give you about 84 minutes before you are dead on the side of the road.
I will... Okay. Let me be real with you for a second. I'm going to take a little step closer. Like, you're 100% right. I have never stepped outside of walled city before. I'm just trying to find my group. I've got separated. GM, what was the name of the group again?
They didn't have a name. You guys have not named the group.
No, I mean like the
Oh,
Who were hiding us? Hiring.
the
Save us.
Sindra
Harpers.
Sylvain. Yeah.
The Harpers.
Harpers.
That's the name of the group.
Because my head was like Harpies. It's like, no, they're not the Harpies. Harpers. Yes, yes. I'm gonna ask for like, hey, did you know the Harpers, Sindra, Sylvain, any of that? Ring a bell?
Would Yenben know about the Harpers and Sindra Sylvain? He's a bit of a jungle.
You know what? They do have a presence here, and I would say make a history check.
Okay.
We'll call it DC 15. Not super easy, but
With a 0 to history. Ooh, 18.
there you go. So that's high enough. I would say you have heard of the Harpers. You don't know a lot about them. You would not know of the association between the Harpers and Sindra Sylvain.
Okay.
But you would know that Sindra Sylvain is a powerful mage that likes to that has a friend in town who's friends in town with one of the merchant princes. Otanga was something or other.
Allies of Otanga?
Let me just double check I can recognize Wakanga Otamu. That's what it was. My Lisdexia took over in my memory. Wakanga Otamu.
Oh, you running those kinds of circles.
It's a new development.
How new?
I'm gonna look at the sun. About this much sun distance. Couple hours.
4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Make an insight check, Yenben.
Sure. Ooh, I am hot tonight. 24.
He doesn't know how. You can tell Mordai doesn't know how to tell time by the sun, so his hand measurement means nothing.
Fair enough. Sometime between less than a day and a week. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
do
did I-
you kind of know, point me in the right direction?
Do you even know where you are, son? Or I could be
Yeah.
older than him. I don't know. But still.
I feel like you would condescendingly call most people son.
Idiots that seem to be willing to get themselves killed in the jungle. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, that is most of the people that come to the jungle, isn't it?
The ones from the Sword Coast, maybe.
Hmm?
And I would say that Mordai probably very clearly is dressed in some way that would indicate he is not from here.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
not that he's from the Sword Coast, but that he is not from here.
Oh yeah, I was like, I just arrived at just not too long ago. Hour or so ago, I walked in.
You walked into Chult an hour ago.
That is correct.
Uh-huh.
For those of
Do
you
you-
watching at home, the geography does not add up for that. It's a peninsula, and Port Nyanzaru is on the opposite end of the peninsula.
So do I roll deception for telling the truth?
Nope. No.
I was going to say, please
No.
just give that to Yenben. He's not a smart man, but he's a ranger from the peninsula.
No, he knows how long it takes to walk. Uh,
Maybe because he possibly has walked.
I mean, to be fair, though, Mordai did walk here.
Yeah, so
As confusingly as that is,
Yeah, but
Doesn't make
Yenben
sense,
doesn't
but that's
believe
not
him.
a deception check. So,
There's nothing you could say or do at that point that would make Yenben believe that he walked here from Chult.
you know what? I will say, though, Yenben, still make an insight check anyway.
All right.
And Mordai, make a persuasion check.
19.
And
Yeah, this guy's full of shit.
Everything about this interaction is overly close, probably more words than Yenben has spoken in the past week, and yet he can't just let this poor damned fool walk into the jungle and get himself killed.
Well, Yenben does know of a nearby tavern where
All right.
you could get him situated and supplied properly.
All right. How sure are you your friends went out into the jungle?
I'll take out a gold coin and be like, oh, heads, tails.
All right. You flip that coin.
All right, I shall flip the coin.
Yenben
Flip it.
catches it in midair.
I
And
kind
then-
of like hold my hand out for it, like, oh, that's a cool trick. Have that.
And then
back.
he'll take you by the shoulder and go, "That's for not letting you walk into the." And he'll start walking you towards the nearest tavern, which I believe,
Would be
I
the
presume,
Thundering
is the
Lizard.
Thundering Lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually true based on what we're talking about map-wise, but for plot reasons, it is.
Fair enough.
I will say, Mordai, you said heads they went into the jungle, tails they didn't, and he grabbed it in midair, which is neither of those options. And some part of you is wondering, does that mean they did neither of those things?
I'm going to assume yes. Before Mordai is very like vibe and go with the flow. Like, oh, fate is doing this, so I'm just gonna go with it. Hasn't really found a direction to point himself yet, so he's very kind of just loosey-goosey, go with the flow for now.
Ah, yes. Trusting the hand of the DM. Very, very good idea.
Oh, the voice in the back of his head, it hasn't let him wrong yet.
That's right. It has not led you wrong yet.
Yet.
So,
Hi.
the two of you walk to the Thundering Lizard, and as we do, we explored from that moment in the Thundering Lizard in a previous episode, so we will now fast forward beyond this flashback. And now, we are flashing forward to when you have all gotten all of your supplies, you tied up your hadrosaur outside, and you are all, the five of you, returning to the Thundering Lizard as a group, where you get a message from some of the staff saying that Lapis has decided that their skills would be better used here in town and has decided to assist Cinder Sylvain in research while the rest of you continue on the adventure throughout the jungle. And with that message is a sending stone.
I don't know if Mordai knows what a sending stone is.
It's for the group, so any one of you could use it. Essentially, a sending stone. They come in pairs, and you would assume either Cinder Sylvain or Lapis has the other sending stone, and once per day you can use those sending stones to send a 25-word message to each other.
Okay, so yes, I'll grab it and see if it has a message for us.
You grab the stone, you hold it in your hand, and you hear nothing.
I kind of like look around to the other people who are like, so do you know how this works? Hello?
It's a little smaller than that. It's about the size of an earring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a teardrop-shaped blue jewel.
Hello? We
Wait
are
for someone.
ready to go?
And you hear back the voice of Syndra Sylvain saying, "Oh, wonderful, you received the sending stone. I was beginning to worry. Yes, Lapis will be here with me. You can use this sending stone to keep me updated. Let me know if you all die, let me know where so I can send someone to get an updated map." And then the message ends.
How
right.
does she expect us to update her if we're all dead? Does anyone feel like we're jumping into a half-baked plan?
I didn't realize you could full bake a plan. But I'll put the sending stone somewhere safely on my person.
All right,
One of my
add
pockets.
1 sending stone to your inventory. And as all of you are back, Ferul and Gondolo are still at the bar. You pass by Zongo as you entered into the tavern. He's just as flatulent as ever. What you all do?
Well, we've been out for, I assume, most of the day, so finding an empty table, getting some food and beverages, I think, be a good place to start. And because I don't think Mordai has met any of the other groups of
Any of the other groups? Any of
not
the other
the
guides?
guides. Yeah, that's the
Right.
so
No, but Barbara and Kenna and Lenora all have met the other guides. They met
Would-
Musharib and Ferul Gondolo.
Would Yen know any of these guides by reputation?
That's a good question. Has Yen been worked as a guide, do you think?
Being a bugbear, maybe minimally.
Okay.
Like, he's probably not one of the more sought after people for sure.
A little less reputable. I would say, if that's the case, you would be more familiar with the reputations of River Mist and Flask of Wine. Those would be the guides that you know. They're a
And-
pair of Tabaxi siblings.
And their reputation being
Competent. They're quite competent, I would say.
that felt like there was going to be a but there.
Insight check.
15.
Yeah, they know their way around. People usually come back with them. That's a good sign.
Fair enough. Okay.
Whereas Ferul and Gondolo, just by looking at them, they're young blood as far as guides go. You're pretty confident that if they know where they're going, they claim to have a treasure map, which, if it's true, would be worth its weight in gold. But if they're incompetent, you're confident that your skills could at least keep the party alive.
So we get rich and I offset the guides. Okay.
A little bit. Yeah, between you, Lenora, and probably Kenna added together, you could easily compensate for any incompetence that these guys have.
And I presume that as characters, we discussed all that stuff we talked about on Discord and everything on our way back. So I guess Yen will look to Kenna and Barbara and say, well, you met them already. Decided to go with them. Why don't you the charge?
Either one of you.
Well,
And before any of you do that, Mordai's gonna be like, so I kind of look around, it's like, well, some of you may or may not know, but I've never actually left a city or town before. So, before we go hunting treasures and, dragging a hordes and stuff, maybe, we could do a bit of a test camping trip, forge our bonds some more. Mordai doesn't really, like, now that it's actually happening and it has the group, it's a little nervous to go out the safety of the city. So maybe
Bummer.
a little test run, about get the feel of the place, and we get, if it's not what we think, then we can come back and regroup without getting too far away from the safety of the city.
well, speaking for myself, I've been living outside the city for a while, but I would say that helping these two get to that abandoned dragon horde would be a bit of a test case. Although you might want to, how do I say this? Well, maybe we should sit down and go through your packing.
That sounds like a grand idea, and I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. And first rule. You don't leave eyesight of the rest of the group.
No solo mission.
I thought you were gonna say you have to change your socks.
That's rule 2.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen his
Roll
socks yet,
on.
but
Only eyesight rule. Change socks.
It's a shout
I
out
need
for
to buy
anybody who
some more
remembers Forrest
socks.
Gump.
Let's just say, if you can't see one of us, you need to find one of us.
All right. Put myself up.
Anna, Barbara, would you like to go make us acquaintances with our new guides?
all right. I suppose we should get to it.
As
I
long as
can't
we
wait.
eventually get out of this town, I would love to finally swing my hammer at some creatures here.
Well,
Welcome to Double the Dice Tomb of Annihilation, where we spend the first 8 episodes trying to leave town.
Please,
I just want to
please,
see.
no more shopping.
I just want to see how Yenben handles Ferul and Gondolo, because that's going to be entertaining.
Yes, maybe Yenben should lead the way because of our previous conversation didn't go so well with Ferul and Condolo. I think we ended up trying to steal their Triceratops and getting a little bit on the wrong foot.
We talked to their Triceratops, but
Sorry, persuade them to give us their Triceratops, I suppose is the right way to say that. But yes,
Yes,
maybe Yenben, you should take lead here and go and talk to our friends Ferul and Condolo.
Well, okay. And he will, because Ferul is a halfling, or is Gondolo a halfling?
Gondolo is a halfling.
And Ferul's a
Ferul
human.
is a human.
Okay. And Yenben is very tall. Okay. Yeah, all right. Yenben will...
They're not dancing on the table this time. They're still making merry and drinking, but they seem more subdued than last time. They're a little bit disappointed, and they've probably been drinking since morning.
Fair enough. Perfect. Is there a jar of wine on the table?
There's probably a pitcher of Tej.
Okay.
Which is a kind of honey, meaty beer kind of stuff that is sort of the signature drink in Chult.
Right. And what would a glass of, or what would that flagon of Tej cost at this tavern?
Super cheap. It's three copper.
3 copper. Okay. Cool. Yenben will dish that gold that Mordhai gave him. Out of his pocket.
I have it marked down.
And Yenben will wink straight at Mordhai, slap the gold on the table, and in the same motion grab the pitcher and another cup from the sidebar and sit down at the table with Ferul and Gondolo without ever saying a damn word.
They kind of give you a little, like, hey! They see you're a bugbear, they look down at the coin. Hey, drinking buddy, all right, let's go. Hey!
He holds up one
Ferul's the
finger.
name.
He holds up one finger. Continues to slowly pour himself a glass of Tej until it is right, like, you know how you fill beer so the foam is right to the very top? He's doing the same thing with a glass of Tej. Sorry, took my finger off the button. Gets it just right. Puts the pitcher back on the table. Gentlemen.
I see you're quite good with head.
Oh no, you work in puns, don't you?
That was actually Gondolo that said that. He says, and Ferul says, "Pardon, my friend, he thinks himself quite a poet, though I don't think that puns really count. My name is Ferul. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. You are..."
And Ben will reach out this giant mitt of a bugbear hand and clasp the other one and go, Yenben.
Very nice to meet you, Yenben. It's a very nice name. I haven't heard it before. Is that common around here? I imagine it must be. Is that a
goblin?
Hmm.
And just big yellow teeth.
So are you trying to intimidate them right now, or
not intimidate, but just not let them get their full footing? Just trying to keep them a little, just off balance them ever so slightly.
All right. What can I do you for, Yenben?
Well, I have some.
You definitely have their attention. I will say that for sure.
Fair enough. That's the other half of the goal. You would have met my friends last evening. Motley sort, looking to go traveling amongst the jungle.
They wanted to borrow our Triceratops, yes. That much I remember.
Well, now they're looking to really borrow them. Just...
You mean rent him?
And you. Don't get too excited.
Why?
That second deal that you offered to go look for the treasure, equal shares. They're willing to take you up on that.
All right. That sounds wonderful.
Equal shares, equal danger.
What do you mean?
We ain't your mercenaries for hire. We ain't your hired killers. We ain't killing no dragon.
Well, we have no interest in killing a dragon. The treasure that we seek is supposedly at the corpse of a dragon. The dragon has already been slayed.
Yeah, and if it starts to fucking move, we get the fuck out.
Actually, I would say being a goblin from here, you would
Mm-hmm.
know the legends very clearly about Needle's Bones. Because
Okay.
it was the goblins of Yelyark that killed them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mm.
So I would know it's dead and been dead a while.
Oh, definitely.
But then you might, I might also kind of look over at Yenben and say, and ask him if he knows what else might be there that would keep other people from going to take that treasure before we can get to it.
Well, as far as I know, I bought the map off of a man half crazed from Mad Monkey Fever, trying to sell it for enough fare to get ship's passage back to Baldur's Gate. So I don't know much about the treasure itself or why no one has found it, but the fact of the matter is no one has found it.
So what
And
you're saying is you bought a fucking madman's map, and you're thinking it might turn up something.
I've had it appraised. It seems very reliable. Yes.
Appraised, eh?
You've shown it.
Yes!
You've shown it to anyone that knows this jungle.
Well, how else would I?
Yenben, do you mind taking a look at this thing?
If he'll show me. Equal share, equal danger.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Either one of you.
Oh, that's going to be Kenna all day long. Y'all, I am not a charismatic character. Do not make me the face of this party. Please, dear God, please no.
Oh, but we just love hearing your voice all day, every day.
I'm going to pick the most annoying voice characters from here on.
Hi,
Alvin-
my name is Backback.
There's Alvin and the Chipmunks. That
You're muted.
I tried that with a different campaign, and everyone thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, no. Okay, it is advantage because Yenben is helping you. Also, your mic is not picking up your voice, so I don't know what you're saying. There we go. All right, 15 will do it.
Oh, well, it's actually 20, because because it's +5.
Even better. Dirty 20? Heck yeah. And with that, you convince Farul to let you look at the map. And the map does triangulate a location over in the eastern side of Chult, where it would add up. It would make sense for it to be in that area. Actually, make a history check, Yenben.
What was the sorry, what was the dragon's name again?
Needles.
Needles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon. History check, you'll say?
Yes, please.
13.
All right. Because of your goblin upbringing, yeah, exactly. You would pretty clearly know the reason nobody knows where this treasure is exactly is because none of the goblins that ambushed this dragon survived the assault. But the dragon was terrorizing all of Chult for ages until the goblins took them out. But all the goblins that knew where this hoard was went to go and take it out and died in the process. And then it's just been lost. From then, it's easy enough to say, maybe the treasure is also hidden in a way that makes it would make it more difficult. It wouldn't be an obvious. It's not like it would just be sitting out in the open or anything like that. The hoard itself would probably be in a cavern or a secret entrance or something like that.
And to go with Kenna's question, would Yenben know of the kinds of creatures that would... So, based on that information and Kenna's question, what kind of creatures would probably be in this cave and, that would have taken over after the dragon? And if none of the goblins survived, how did the story get out?
Because the dragon was terrorizing all of Chult, they went out and an adventuring, or not an adventuring party, but a war party of goblins went out to kill the dragon, and then the dragon was not harassing anybody in Chult anymore.
Okay.
But neither was the war party of goblins.
But the war party never made it home. So it could be that they survived the assault and just didn't make it home. Something else might have taken them out, but whatever it was, their job was accomplished.
Also,
you asked 2 questions, though.
I did. I'm going to ask a third as well, but this one's easier. What color of dragon was this?
Make a history check.
Okay, fair enough.
This one's going to be a higher DC. This one's going to be 20.
Ooh, 16.
Sorry. You don't know.
Too long ago. Don't know.
Too long
and then
ago,
the
yeah.
other question was, what kind of, just generic, overarching, what kind of creatures in Chult go to that area? Because it's kind of Yenben's home turf.
It's pretty far from home. It's on the opposite side from your hometown. So you aren't super familiar with it, but, jungle stuff.
Jungle stuff? Okay. Nothing specific? Fair enough. Fair enough. Darn, I was hoping that'd be a survival roll.
Yeah.
Something I'm actually good at.
If you actually saw the terrain over in that area, then you might be able to make a check. But we're nowhere near there yet.
Fair enough. I am okay with that. Okay, cool. So,
I can't give you all the spoilers before you even leave the city gate.
And what good is a ranger?
My
his home
favorite
turf.
terrain is the material plane. Take that. My
Fine, we're
favorite.
going to Avernus. Sucker!
My favorite enemy is alive, and my second is dead.
My favorite enemy is dead, and my second favorite enemy is alive.
You seem to have mistaken my favorite enemy and my favorite enemy.
Ah, yes.
What is your favorite enemy, Yenben?
I am using Tash's rules, so
That
I don't
doesn't use
have a
favorite
favorite
enemy.
enemy.
Oh, do you have
So
a
under the-
terrain?
Don't have that either. Using the Tash's one.
No, they're just totally different in Tasha's because Rangers got a total rework.
Yeah, you get it. So you become a deft explorer. You choose a proficiency, and it boosts that. And then you get instead of a favorite enemy, you get favored foe. Just kind of like
You get to pick whatever you want it to be and change it as you go.
no, it's like a slightly. It's like a hunter's mark that doesn't use a spell slot.
Oh, okay.
So you get a
Nice.
couple of things. It does a 1d4 instead of a 1d6, but it doesn't use a spell slot, and so like
And you can
But it's-
also cast Hunter's Mark.
no, it's concentration. They're both concentration.
Oh, weird.
I
Okay.
can't double up on them, but like it makes you a lot more flexible than the original
Alright.
Ranger. So it's kind of nice that way.
Cool.
Otherwise, my favorite terrain would be jungle.
But you
But
would
anyway.
know
Why's
that
that?
this. But you would know that there is more than just jungle in Chult.
Yes.
There's also swamps. There's also mountains. There's also a little bit of kind of
Swamps inside jungles.
Well,
stuff like that.
Not to mention volcanoes and mountains and bears. Oh my.
Yeah, you can see all the volcanoes on the map and stuff. It's kind of wild.
Okay. So, anyways, back to the show.
Hmm.
Was there anything else that anyone wanted to ask Rule and Gondolo, or are we just going to let them sober up and leave in the morning?
I probably want to know how far is it? Like, how long are we going on the road? Are we going to take a boat to get closer and then walk the rest of the way? Or are we just walking straight from here? What's the travel plans?
Well, I think that the best choice, boat, we could charter a ship, but ships are expensive. We have a Triceratops. I say we walk it. That, especially with the Triceratops, we wouldn't be able to use any canoes or anything to go down river. But we've got 2 rivers to cross, and it's usually easier to just move. As far as how far, one. He's looking at the map. He pulls out a compass, but it's the wrong type of compass to measure distance. So it's just like, why isn't this pointing north?
Also, how does your
Maybe 2
Triceratops-
weeks? Probably more than 2 weeks travel to get to the treasure.
And then to back.
I do believe so, yes. Sorry, Kenna, what were you going to say? I believe I interrupted you.
Oh, I was just going to ask how comfortable fording rivers your Triceratops is and how well supplied you are.
Oh, that's fine. Triceratops are native to this place. They swim just fine. And we already have him fully loaded up with teg. All the teg we could need for the entire journey.
Well, a drow cannot live by beer alone.
Have you tried it yet? Sobriety only happens if you let it.
And how much water were you planning to bring?
Why would we bring water? There's plenty all through the rivers. We can bring rain catchers. Plenty of water to go around.
You ever drank from those rivers?
No, why?
You ever got whirling disease from a river?
No, why?
You should do that the first day and see how long you last out in that jungle.
All right, so we won't be drinking the river water. That's why we bring perfectly safe, sealed and approved tej.
I'm not saying don't bring tej, but I am saying do bring snacks.
Barkeep, pretzels.
I like
And
these
is-
guys. I think we should just set off.
And is just gonna stare at Barbara really intensely and blink a lot.
That's all Yenben's been doing for half of this conversation.
I see nothing wrong here.
Fully furrowed brow, like the stupid hurts.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Although I will do some math and kind of mumble to myself, like, oh, probably need more bug spray. I'm just counting on my fingers.
I was just thinking we need more bug spray.
Oh,
I
they're
think
the
we're going to
guides.
need
They
to
get
go
to provide
shopping
their
again.
own bug spray.
They have theirs. I'm talking about for like I'm gonna want another one just in case.
Yeah, if you guys each have 1 vial of the insect repellent, but if it's 2 weeks out,
2 weeks back.
the insect repellent will last you about halfway back.
Okay, so purple
Because it's
smoke.
only
we bought
20 applications.
it was how much gold? We'll just purple smoke it. We don't need to.
Totally. What, you don't want to meet another tabaxi merchant?
I want to go and spin another water wheel.
I mean, they're fun and all, but I thought we wanted to leave town sometime before everyone died and was unable to be resurrected ever again.
We'll leave in the morning.
You know, before we all die of old age.
Or dehydration from all the tej.
So yeah, we can purple smoke it, and everybody can just have 1 more. I gotta look up what that cost is. It's not much. I think the insect repellent is.
There's the vial stuff.
Yeah,
Different
so
from the
it's one
incense.
gold piece each. You guys did also get the block of incense that can cover an area,
Right.
but
That probably-
each of those blocks uses each of those blocks only lasts for 8 hours.
Right.
I-
Okay.
I feel like my strategy, and I don't know how the party feels about this, but of course we all lather up in our individual applications, but maybe the incense is something we use when we're sleeping.
Mhm.
Except the salve lasts 24 hours. So it will still cover you while you sleep.
Yeah, but my experience with bugs more is generally better. More bug repellent,
More
less bug.
more repellent, less bug. That's fair.
Because they are determined.
And
That,
pervasive.
there's a Manitoba skeeter.
You mean
Also-
a sturge?
Also colloquially known as a skeeterdactyl. That
Okay, so
So
Is there
you
anything
have
else that
your guides.
we have our guides.
we have our bug spray.
We have more bug spray. Is there anything
Do
else that we need, folks?
Do we have food? Do we need food?
I mean,
I may-
we
I don't
start with
think anybody has taken any rations.
I
I
have
haven't
Alright,
talked about it unless.
I
Then-
haven't bought any rations in Chult, but I snuck a couple.
We can buy
Artifact
if you guys want to
aid.
talk about more shopping stuff over Discord offline. We can do that.
sure. Okay.
And just whatever you want to say you've bought before you left, we'll just say that you bought it.
Yeah, like everyone should have 20 days worth of rations and
stuff like that. There also is something to be said for you can hunt in
Mhm.
the jungles as you move,
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah.
there's
right?
nothing wrong with being prepared just in case it's not easy to do.
Well,
Fair.
and we don't want to. I mean, there's a difference between hunting when we have the opportunity and taking a lot of time away from our journeying.
Right.
Because every time we stop to hunt, we are not progressing necessarily.
There is a way we can also review the rules as to how to move and like forage and hunt as we go.
Mhm.
You move slower, but it is possible within one of the exploration pillars of 5e. So that's a
Okay.
thing we can also we'll brush up on as we're going through this.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's fair.
maybe
I'm pretty
we can
sure that's
post
either
that
in
to
the DMG or Xanathar's guide, one of the two.
Yeah, maybe we can post whatever rules we're going to use for this campaign on exploration and foraging and that, and time to travel, the hexes and stuff in
I'll
the
make a
Discord,
note.
just so that it's all organized and
All in one
obvious
place.
and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Sounds good.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm very linear.
All right.
I would think that Kenna, being herself, would say, having spent a lot of time foraging around her cabin/hut, it can take a while to get enough cute leaves and berries to fill your tummy.
Fair.
But also, you don't need as much food as we often eat when we are in sort of safe and settled areas, right? You guys might be working hard and everything, but if you have to ration food, you can ration food. Rationing water does not work nearly as well.
A hungry drow is a grumpy drow.
That is also fair.
How
But with
much space do you have on that Triceratops?
probably, I'd say easily 1,000 pounds.
Perfect.
To
'cause
spare.
We also have a dino, but unfortunately their packs are full.
Well, I don't think Zongo would want to carry another dinosaur.
I don't think that's what Barbara meant. But
It
Well,
is a
we
good
want to
idea.
keep Zongo packed light so that he can help us carry the treasure home.
well, if he's carrying supplies that are perishable or supplies that we use, they will probably decrease along our journey.
Well, that is your prerogative. If you're hiring us, so you also get the use of our Triceratops. So long as there's enough room for our Tej, that's fine by us.
Fair enough. All right.
So, are we about ready for long rest?
So
Spend the
you
night and
both
then
are
leave in
going
the
to
morning?
be sober for most of this trip, right?
Barbara hammers down his last dredge, and he just bam, face first right into the table, and he is out for the night.
Yenben asks if Ferul and Gondola will be sober, and they say, not if we can help it.
And
Road
shit
trip!
hits-
And then they start getting ready for bed.
all right. I was going to ask them what they're going to do if shit hits the fan, but apparently drink themselves into oblivion.
And with that, we will bring an end to tonight's session. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for playing. And we will see you next time as we start in the next morning.
Thank you,
Finally.
DM.
Yay, leaving town.
Woohoo!
Bye.
We made it, guys!
Go.
We're leaving town!
We're leaving town, but
For
we
the
haven't
last
left
time.
town yet. For the last
Son of
time?
a-
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you haven't left town yet.